This video is to accompany pop-up docbar GUI project that I've posted up on the Annex RDS forum, which includes a cursor widget which allows you to select from different cursor images which have been saved into a cursors folder on the ESP32 device. So let me jump back. There's a cursors folder and these are the various images that I've copied into it. But this YouTube video is to allow people to be able to create their own to use with the cursor widget. So here's some cursors that I've made myself, and it's a very easy thing to do, and if you've got your own graphics program that you're familiar with, just go ahead and use that and make your own. If you haven't, or you're not sure how to, there is a free graphics program called OrphanView. It's a Windows program, but it runs under Wine on Linux perfectly. That's how I use it. I'm using Linux. There's also a portable version of it if you didn't want to install it, but it's very small, and let's show you how to go and get that. So you type in OrphanView, do a search for that. I've put in portable just to show you that you can go and get different sources of the portable version if you want, but I'd rather just, because what you do want is a 64-bit, and you want the plugins, preferably because they let you handle other graphics and do various other things. You also want the latest available version, and it hasn't been updated for several years, but I'm going to click on this Major Geeks one. So it looks like the latest available is 4.73. That's what I've seen everywhere. Now if you find one that is a zip, it will include the plugins. Otherwise you'll probably have to download the plugins. It'll offer them available, but you'll have to download them and then copy them into the whatever folder you install OrphanView into or copy it into. I've already done that. I've already installed it, so I'll let you get it from wherever you want and do your own thing with it. But it's very small and it's free. So I'll close that. Let's go and look for an icon that we can make. So if we do a search for cursors, I'll do cursor icon, and we'll do PNG because that lets you have a graphics background, but with OrphanView you can create your own transparent background anyway, so that's not too important, but we'll do a search for that. Just want to find a quick icon, and so there's loads of places you can download cursor icons. You need to be a little bit aware of what you're going to get, but probably you can get all that you need just by clicking on the images within your browser. You don't want anything like these, because when the cursor is cropped so that that's all you get without any external stuff, then this is, if you're going to include this with the image, where the cursor is has to coincide with where the mouse pointer would be, which is a 0, 0 origin of the picture. Well, that's not where the pointer is pointing at. All this makes the box much bigger, so you need something with a point. Something like that. It's rounded point, but it's still a point. So you don't want any clutter. You just want the straightforward picture. Now I'm going to let's find something that's this one I'll do. So on here, this looks like it's vertical, so this isn't going to protrude to the left. Let me just go up and show. This here is absolutely no good whatsoever, because this is where you want the actual point of your cursor to be. These dots are going to throw that all out, so you'd need to get rid of them, which you can do easy enough. The other thing is, that is not at the top left of this image. The thumb is pushing it to the right, so that would be no good. This one, you could use it, and I have used it actually, because you've got an easy ability to flip horizontally. But what I'll do is just download, say, this one. And we can just save the image as, and I'll just call it empty. And we'll save that. It's going into the Annex folder. So there we go. Pick that up. Now, I've already installed EarthenView. Let me get back to Annex. So there's the empty image that I've just downloaded. I've already installed EarthenView. So I've configured it to be associated with images. I'll show you how to do that when I go into it. But once you've got it configured to be associated, you just need to right click on the image, and then it can be opened with EarthenView. So there we go. Now to associate it, you would go into Options, Set File Associations, and then select the graphics images that you want it to be associated with. Here's images only, so that's what I chose, and that's what this is set to. And like I say, once you've got that set, even in Linux, the association works. So with this, I'm going to assume that it's not a transparent background. I think that it is, but I'll assume that it's not. So we can go to Edit, Show the Paint dialog. You get a little pop-up window here. Now you've got a brush, and you can adjust the size of the tip. This one's set for 5, so it'd be 5 pixels wide, whatever brush strokes you do. Let's do it. Click on that. Okay, so that's 5 strokes wide. You've got an undo, this blue left pointing arrow, so you can soon get rid of it. This is the foreground, this is the background, which is a right click, but you can swap between them by this double arrow. So now this is the foreground. Again, I'll undo that, and I'll just show that if we put a 1 in front of the 5, we've got a 15 wide tip now. So go back to blue. Alright, well while we're at it, I must have clicked on the colour. I'll do that. If you click on the colour window, you can select a colour from what's available. We'll go for that red. OK, that. And now our brush is wider. It's 15 pixels wide. But what I'll do, let's undo that, is first of all I'll change the background to be something totally different. Let's get it green. So if I let's get it green, switch it, thank you, and we'll select this paint pot which gives us a flood fill. So I'm turning everything outside of the cursor green. There we go. And I'll later be making that transparent, but what we're aiming for is good contrast on the cursor. And if this was on a dark or certainly a black background, all of this outline would not be visible. So one of the things that you can do is we select, we could go for white, but I'll go for yellow just for the sake of it. OK, that. And then we can select the line, and then that lets you click on one end and drag a line. In actual fact, I'm going to make the brush bigger. Let's make it 20. Again, so we'll click on that, somewhere that will meet do the same again on the other side. And all the way around. I mean, it's very quick and easy to do. What it does do is gives you another contrast, so even if you lose a lot of your visibility of your black against a black background, then the yellow will highlight it anyway. And you could make that as wide as you like in whatever colour you like. So having done that, let's pop something inside. Choose a different colour, something else contrasty. What? Let's have a light. No, we've got a green. We'll have orange. That'll do. And then we want the flood fill paint pot, and just click in there. So I mean, it's messy, but this is just to demonstrate things. So let's save this first. I saved it to Annex originally, so I want to save it back there, and it's not empty anymore, so we'll call it full. That'll do. Now we have a couple of things that we need to do is crop all the unnecessary stuff off. So to do that, let's go back to the arrow, and you can just click anywhere and drag a box. So it can't go further than the top of the image, so drag it up to there. I'm going to make the black background a little bit, the outline a little bit smaller than what it is, or maybe not, I'll keep it like that. So that's got it there, and if you make sure you get the double arrow over the line, you can do it top and bottom as well, and we'll drag that right to the bottom, below even, so we've got all of the bottom of the image. But you make sure you get the double-sided arrow to pull, because if you get slightly off, you get a magnifying glass, and what that does is it zooms in on the picture, totally messes you up, so you don't want to do that. So we'll drag that to there. Right, now edit, crop selection, it says in brackets cut out. So that's got rid of all the unnecessary stuff. And now we want to make this green background transparent. So that is image, edit or set the alpha transparency color. So click on that, pop up a little window which says use control and click in the image on the color that you want to be transparent. So I'll hold control and just click anywhere in the green. I'll have another place to do it in a minute, but we'll do that. Oh, it's done it as well. It's done all the green as transparent. So if we're happy with that, apply and exit. So I'll save that again. It's full. So I've already got a full somewhere, I thought. There it is. Overwrite it, yes. Now the final thing is to make it the right size. So we go to image, resize, and I have all of my cursors 64 pixels wide, so that when I change their shape they all change correspondingly. They're not all different sizes. It doesn't matter about the length, but the width is the important thing really. You want to preserve the aspect ratio, so keep that box ticked, and then you just type in your size here, 64, and then OK that. So that's our new cursor, and it doesn't look so bad now that it's smaller. So we'll go back to File, Save Original Folder, and Full. And having made the background transparent, you need to make sure that it's being saved as a PNG, or you lose the transparency. So you might have loaded originally, say, a JPEG, but if you've made it transparent, you need to save it as a PNG, or you'll lose the transparency. So we'll save that. Overwrite it, yes. So it's quite quick and easy to create your own images and change them to make them more suitable. So there's our full cursor now, and it doesn't look out of place at all. One last thing with Earthen View. So if you wanted something like this, obviously if we draw a box around it, it's not pointing to the top left, which is where the mouse cursor will be and your image needs to be pinned to. But let me just click to get rid of the box. That's easily done by going to Image, Horizontal Flip, and then if you draw a box around it, it will be at the top left once it's cropped. So I should do that. I didn't line it up because I'm not going to be keeping it. But if it wasn't an easy matter of just flipping it, let's say it was this. Well, Earth in View has a feature where you can custom rotate. And if I go to 0, that's what it's going to be after the change, and this is what it is now. So if you give it a positive number, let's go positive 45, points off to the right. Well, we want a negative number, so just put a negative sign in front and it points to the left. Far too much for what we need, so let's drop that down to 30. And that might actually do it, but if I make that 20, that obviously won't do it. The thumb is sticking further to the left than the top of the finger. So it's just a matter of tilting it to whatever you particularly want. Let's try 33. That looks like it'll be alright. I'll go another one, 32. I think that should be fine. So when you've got it pointing more or less how you want, OK it. Then we'll need to crop it, just get what we want. And I always take a little bit off of the end bit so that the actual origin, the 00 bit, is more or less where the pointer's at. If I was to take the box outside of that, then where the tip of the finger is going to be short of where the origin of the box would be. Anyway, so that should be fine, and we'll crop that. Yeah. So I don't know if this is a transparent background or not, but what we'll do is open up the paint dialog and we'll fill the outside area with a solid colour. We'll make it black. So OK that, and then after clicking the paint icon, we'll just fill it. I'm going to do the tip there as well. But while we're at it, we might as well fill this checkerboard interior. So go and select something. Do we want purple? Oh, let's have a blue. We've still got our paint pot, so just drop it in. Fill up that as well. And because it's easier to do this transparency with a larger image, so image, edit or set the alpha transparency channel, and then hold control while we click on the colour that we want to be the transparency, and apply and exit. So now we'll reduce it to 64. And now file, save. But to keep that transparency, we've got to make sure that it is a PNG. But that's fine. And I'll just overwrite the original. I don't need that anymore. So then we can just upload that into our device for another cursor. Lets you get virtually any picture that you want and make it point to the top left to use as a cursor. So have fun.